Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Just the Two of Us. Let's talk about it. My name is Whitney Renee, and I am here today with the weird
Dr. Black.
So, just wanted to come in and touch bases with everyone. Just some random discussion that we're talking about today. Well, what we're going to touch on today is Tough Topic Tuesday. We're going to just talk about some tough things that has been going on. However, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic. I got a lot of rest today.
Must be nice.
It is.
I never get rest. For those of you that don't know, I feel like he gets a lot of rest, and I just be looking at him sometimes like, why are you enjoying sleep this much? This must be nice, huh? Must be nice.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. So, Tough Topic Tuesday. First, I want to start off by a toast to another week. So today, my husband decided to pick up rubbing alcohol, and I say that because it is Bacardi.
It's just Bacardi Superior.
Okay, Bacardi Superior, which isn't the best stuff, but we're going to take a little. You don't need much. Is that a lot?
No, it's not
a lot. Okay, I'm like, we're gonna take a little sip. I don't really typically drink this, but we will today, and we're just gonna toast it up. So, toast to the beginning of the week.
I mean, it is Tuesday.
It's still the beginning of the week. So, toast to Tuesday. Toasty Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So, I encourage you, if you haven't had a drink today or yesterday, pull out your best stuff and have a drink. Just don't drink this shit that we're drinking, because it's not the best. So, what is something that you came across this week that you found, like, interesting?
It was actually not too long ago. So
lame.
What?
Go ahead.
All right. So I'm really into space and like exploration and discovering new stuff. And 3 days ago, the Hubble telescope found tiny itty bitty pieces of dark matter, which is crazy because we knew that dark matter was out there, but we just couldn't find it. So now that there's been some pieces discovered, maybe we can get our hands on some.
So dark matter, does that mean like the show? What is that show we watch? And they always want a piece of the dark matter?
Oh, The Flash.
The Flash. Oh, that's so cool. We could be...
No, it's not.
I could be a meta-human?
No, you cannot be a meta-human.
Why can't I be a meta-human if we potentially have dark matter?
The real world doesn't work like that, sorry.
Womp womp.
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me.
What about you?
That's kind of interesting. I was kind of hoping, I'm kind of let down that the dark matter, I can't be a metahuman. One of the things that I found interesting, for those of you who is interested in the royal family, I like Meghan and Harry, and this week, one of the biggest things that is trending right now is that they decided to basically put like their royal, what do you call it, they're
stepping down.
Yeah, they're stepping down away from the royal ties. How dope is that? I think it's cool because, first off, I never thought, one, that Harry would even be able to marry Meghan. Number one. Number two, if you pull it up, I don't know if you pull up, he said that the reason why he decided to step down is he wasn't going to play this sick game. I'm trying to find it. He said he wanted to play a sick game like what his mom had to go through.
There was talk about that. I don't know, like there were a couple people at work that were talking about it, just randomly, and they were like, yeah, well, he doesn't want to play that back and forth game or something like that his mom had to play.
Right.
I don't know, it was weird. And welcome back. we're going to continue with the Tough Talk Tuesday conversation of toxic friends.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll let you kick off with this one. What are some characteristics of toxic friends, and then we can get into how to identify these people and try and weed them out.
Characteristics of a toxic friend. I would say someone that is not supportive. That's definitely toxic. Like, if you can't support your friend, like, come on now, like, let's be honest, like, you're toxic as fuck. Like,
I'm gonna say no on that one. I would, when I take toxic friend, I think of somebody that is always going through something and tries to bring you in with them. So, like, I had a bad breakup and I'm getting kicked out of their house and I need you to come in and help me, and then they want to get you involved in what's going on with whatever that situation is. It's like that repeating cycle. So they're kind of like, I don't know, tagging you along.
well, there's several traits of a toxic friend, though, is what I was going to get to. That is one of them. But what I mean, why I should say, or what I'm going to say is, I think being a toxic friend is a friend that is not supportive, because I feel like if you really care for your friend, whether it be I completely lost train of thought. That was just dumb for you to do that. But anyway, for those of you that don't know, he typically does stuff that just really irritates me.
I love you.
At any rate, a toxic person that is not supportive is toxic, because it's like, if you're friends, you should still support that person, and you shouldn't be so self-consumed that you don't have the time to not be supportive. And just to tag along off of yours, person that brings you down with drama, yes, of course, that's a toxic person in general. You shouldn't bring everybody else down in your misery, but I don't know, what is some other...
But is that... I don't know. Is just because they don't support you, does that really mean... I shouldn't say, but does that really make them toxic?
Yes. And it makes you toxic because, like, again, if that's your friend, and you don't have to when I mean support the decisions you make, you being positive. You guys should be able to feed off each other, but you shouldn't just always be a Debbie Downer. Let's say that, a Debbie Downer, a person that's not supportive, a person that try to bring, pull you in. I know typically.
Yeah, that sheds new light on that. That opens my eyes a little better. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I could see that if they're just around and they're always, you're talking to them about something that you're really involved in, and
we're excited about or something,
and they're
yeah.
Like, yeah, but why would blah? They're always looking at the bad side to kind of deter you from that. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that's okay. I feel you. I mean, I don't really have those types of people in my life. My circle is very small. It is very small.
You clearly have some toxic people, and what I mean by that, I just feel like when it comes to friends, you should want to encourage your friends to do the right thing. Now, a lot of people may say that honest friend. Most people will say that honest friend is toxic. But I look at it in a different way. Everybody needs that honest friend. That friend that's going to be like, no, I'm sorry, chick, or sorry, dude, you're really fucking up. Like, you need to get your shit together. But a lot of people may perceive that, that person is just toxic. They're not supporting my decision. Shut the fuck up and listen. Stop being dumb. Like, now you're being dumb because you're going to come with me about the same problems. You know what I mean? Do you feel like that's toxic or?
No, I don't think that's toxic. That's somebody being an adult, like trying to help you not be stupid and make the right decision. Like, yeah, okay, you know what? If I decided that I wanted to take a job in, I don't know, we'll say Thailand or something, just random, and I was like, yep, I'm gonna uproot my entire family and we're just gonna go to Thailand. And I got to talking, with my guys about that. They would probably be like, what? Why? And question me and really like be hard pressed. One person for sure, Nate, would really hard press me. Like, why would you do that? What's there?
Yeah, but I like Nate.
I know you do, but that doesn't make him toxic.
No.
It's that person that's trying to shed some light in your world for you to see. That doesn't make them toxic. Now, if a third party, if it's me and Nate talking and Trav said, well, I think that's the wrong idea or blah, 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 and kind of downplaying what the second party was saying, that could be toxic.
Okay. All right.
I guess it depends on the person. Depends on who's interpreting.
Interesting. Well, I don't know. I've completely lost my train of thought, honestly. You're talking with your hands, and there's a lot going on right now.
That's what I do. I'm sorry.
But, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to...
What do you guys think? What would you consider to be a toxic person, a toxic friend? Is it somebody that's not supportive, somebody that's always talking negatively, someone that drags you into their stuff? I'm not going to say down, but drags you into their stuff and kind of pulls you back a little bit. Let us know.
That was very short-lived. But we're going to take a quick break and we'll discuss something. Guess whatever it is that you want to talk about. I'm not really sure. Money.
That was the Cardi B song was in my head.
All right, so we are going to take a quick break and we'll be back.
The people at work were just talking about it, and I don't know. I guess there was some interior politics that were going on, and he just doesn't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah, I think that might be it. But you know what, though? I wonder if they're still going to get, like, the money. I think they do. I think they still get a portion of the money that they have. And from my understanding, they're just going to do it part-time.
Yeah, they're going to do it. I don't know. From what I understood, what I saw, they didn't want none of the money. They didn't want it. They wanted to start fresh, clean, be away from the cameras, and live the celebrity, non-celebrity life, build their own money and stuff like that. So I think they might take some of the money just to get started. But if they're only doing it part-time, who knows where it's gonna go.
I think it's great. I think that most importantly, he put, now his now wife Megan, he is making sure that she's comfortable, because I know a lot of people were being really saying rude and mean things about her, and then she ended up being pregnant and having the baby and everything like that. So I say good for them. What?
No, she looked good after she had that baby. She put on a little weight.
Yeah, delicious. She does. I think she's a very beautiful being. However, I say to say that I wish them the best of luck, whether they're part-time or they out of the royal family as a whole. And I just think it's good that being just the status that they have, that they're taking that leap of faith to just do their own thing. I think that's pretty dope.
Yeah. Kind of like we did when we moved to Missouri.
Yeah, kind of like that, except for we're not fucking royal family.
No. Up and left with little shillings we had.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a brief little break here, and we're going to talk about just tough topics. One of the things I wanted to touch on was, how do you deal with toxic, and I say that, but toxic friends. And we'll touch on that briefly. And so just stick around and stay tuned. Thank you for joining us back here today. For those of you that are just now joining, my name is Whitney Renee.
Mr. Dr. Black's here.
Anywho, so one of the things that we'd like to talk about is how to deal with, I guess, like, your relationship with either your mother or your father that you struggle with. Meaning, like, y'all's relationship is struggling in any way, shape, or form. So I can give advice on things that you can do to kind of make the situation better. But it really depends on if you want to take those steps. I have a good relationship with my mother and my father. Now, me and my father do clash often, but I've never been afraid to just really tell my dad, like, hey, like, you're really being sucky right now, or you're sucking right now, or, you know, what you said or what you did I don't agree with. I was just brought up with, you know, I was able to say anything I wanted to say as long as I was being respectful. So what are some things that you struggled with, you know, with your parent figures in your life?
Well, the only parent that I have is my father. And my father now lives in Georgia, and, you know, we're obviously in Ohio, so I don't see him all that often to begin with. The problem that I guess we don't talk at all. I maybe talk to this man twice a year, and he hasn't really been there as a father figure, shown me the ropes, kind of raised me to be a man and do all that stuff. And I think that I'm at a point now in my life where I don't care anymore.
But you do care.
I don't.
You care, because if you didn't care, it wouldn't be a... See, this is what I don't get. People say they don't care about a situation, but they care about it because it always comes up some way, shape, or form.
It only comes up with me because I have 4 children that he doesn't see. He doesn't call and ask about them. Like, you have grandchildren. Forget me. Our time has passed. You have grandchildren now. Your grandchildren don't even know you. They know your face. They don't know you. They're not around you. They spend more time with your dad than they do my father. Now, granted, yeah, he's, you know, states away, but we don't see my brother that often, and the boys know them from video chat. They get excited over video chat.
Yeah, shout out to
Dustin, Dario, Mel, and Maella. Oh, and Sean.
Yeah, those are Uncle Dustin. Our son Phoenix loves speaking with him every Sunday. He looks forward to it. So shout out to Uncle Dustin.
Which I think is very important for us as well as siblings, that we video chat every Sunday. If you have siblings, set up a day, video chat, make sure you talk to your family.
So if only you could have that same energy with your father. And I say that to say this. I feel like if it's something that's really bothering you, whether you choose to believe it or not, that it's a topic that bothers you, you should have that grown conversation with your dad and say exactly what you said. You know, forget about the relationship you and I don't have. I would appreciate it more if I told my dad that. My dad, every time I say something about mommy, which is AKA Diva, my mom is not a grandma. Everybody, all her grandkids call her Diva. So, we'll go over to my dad's house for whatever reason, and my kids aren't as excited sometimes. And it's not that they don't love him. It's just that he's not physically there as much as Diva. And he'll say, well, I don't think they like me. And I had to politely tell him, well, it's because you're not around. You have to set that tone. They're only kids, But that's something I've expressed to my dad, is what I'm saying. Now, what you choose to do with that information, that's up to you. I can't make you have a relationship with anybody you don't want to have a relationship, but also I'm not going to force my kids to have that relationship either.
I agree 100%. And I've had that conversation with my father. I told him, you suck. You have grandkids that don't know who you are. And this was when the big kids were smaller.
Well, that's been a long time ago. Maybe you should refresh his memory a little bit.
Yeah, I did that on the 29th of December when it was his grandson, and his granddaughter's birthday.
Yeah.
And he thought that the 1-year-old's birthday was the day that he called. He couldn't even remember that he shares a birthday with Phoenix.
Yeah, that's a little tough. I mean,
you can't. I can't have a conversation with you when you only call once a year and say, "Hey, number one son." Okay, yeah. Thanks.
You guys, the funny thing is, I've told Omari, aka Dr. Black, that one day he should call and be like, "Hey, number one dad." Because, technically my dad is his father-in-law, but just to make light of the situation, I just feel like you should talk to him about that. And whether you choose to talk to him, write a letter, send it, mail it, whatever the case may be, I just think it's something that needs to be done. Another piece of advice I could give you is you should never, like how me and you talk, you should never go to bed, spend another day. You should live your life as if the day was your last day. So if there's something that you need to say to anyone, whether it be your brother, your sister, your dad, your grandmother, your grandfather, whatever the case may be, you should say it. Because, people be like, oh, I wish I would have told them this. I wish I would have told them how upset they made me. That way we can move past it and try to. It's never too late to build a relationship or to fix it. I just feel like y'all's need to be fixed a little bit.
Well, there's a lot of relationship fixing that needs to go on then.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
If I were to take that advice, I wouldn't go to work, because there would be a lot of things that I need to say to a lot of people. Not a lot of people, but quite a few people.
Yeah, you're not living right.
I'm not living right, but you know what? That's okay with me though, because at the same time, a conversation needs to be had about certain things, but I'm not going to always be the one that's always reaching out. I'm tired of doing that.
No, I get that 100%. I'm not saying you just need to bust down doors making sure people's good, because I'm gonna give you that same energy. If you don't talk to me, I'm not gonna talk to you. However, when it comes to your parents, you only get one set of parents.
I know.
You didn't get to choose. You didn't get to choose those parents. So make the best out of it. Maybe y'all need to have a thing where, just like how you have it set up with your siblings, every Sunday y'all chat. Try to establish something where it could be another day out of the week, where maybe if it's nothing more than 5 or 10 minutes, try it. Then that way, if you can honestly say you've exhausted every option, at least you've done your part. And then whatever else happens within that, then you're done with the situation. Like and I've been with you for 8 years. I just feel like no party has done a good job at.
That's because those avenues have been exhausted for a long time. Before we got together, those avenues were exhausted. I was surprised he came to our wedding.
I wasn't surprised.
Believe it or not, I was highly surprised. I didn't think he was gonna come. Yeah.
I wasn't surprised.
Oh, well. That's good for you. I'm glad that you're the fresh one that's kind of like, oh yeah, you should do this and do that. It's, you're the blossoming flower that's giving me all these petals of opportunity that I need to look into.
Petals of opportunity.
Petals of opportunity.
Wow.
get on it, yes. But those pedals died off years ago. Trust me. It was bad enough when my own father knew he was terrible, and he sent me, both of my brothers, and my sister a Facebook message talking about how horrible of a parent he was, or he has been. And guess what changed? Nothing. But our youngest sibling, he'd go to bat for her. That's his boot thing. That's okay.
That's neither here or there. I just feel like it's a tough topic because that's something that...
Because it's important. You can't... I get it. You know, the youngest daughter is, you know, she's coming up. She's got things going. That's great. I hold no grudge against her. If he wants to be, you know, go to bat for her, that's great. I don't care. But if you're going to be that shitty of a father, at least reach out to your grandchildren so they know who you are. We barely knew our grandfather, and we lived 10 minutes away. He was bedridden, so he couldn't do much. We would go in there and we would see him, spend some time with him, watch the old westerns, you know, like old folks do. But you got to be better than that.
Well, I hope in closing this up, I hope that whatever decision you make or whatever you decide to bring closure to that situation, that it works out best for you. I really don't have a say because ultimately at the end of the day, that's not my father. But my experience is...
He loves you. That's your experience.
I'll straight tell my dad, like, you know, I just feel like we're distant or whatever the case may be. Whatever. I just feel like there's no reason why you can't fix. Everything can mean that situation is a fixable one, is all I'm saying. So, you have any lasting thoughts or...
Whitney is right. If you have something that you need to say to somebody, family or otherwise, that you know could be fixed, say it.
Yeah.
Because don't let it be one of those things that you regret.
Yeah, like I always say, and Nana always says, give me my roses while I'm alive. Don't be sitting up there while I'm passing away talking about, oh, I missed you and I should have done this. No, make the time and effort to reach out to those people. And I know it's tough because you always don't want to feel like you're the one reaching out. But I say treat people or have that conversation or keep in contact with people just as much as they give you. And maybe every once in a while pop up and give them a little phone call here and there because you never know what they're going through and vice versa. You know, I give people the benefit of the doubt most of the time, but I'm not going to be no dummy and be the only one reaching out either. So
yeah, no, I'm not. I feel you.
Yeah. So speaking of making sure you saying things to people and really reaching out and trying to fix things, I just want to tell you I love you.
My heart every time you say it.
Sarcastic.
Exactly.
That was so sarcastic and dry. See what I mean?
Thank you, baby. I love you.
That's
too.
what I'm talking about. So,
we sleep in the same bed. Don't complain.
What?
You are one lucky lady to have me next to you, and we can talk about everything.
So, just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. And do you have any shows you've been watching recently or anything like that? No, I'm really excited because This Is Us is back on. I love that show. If you guys, every time I watch This Is Us, I swear to you, I have a full blown out meltdown. I be crying and everything like, oh my gosh, it's so sad. So that's always a good show. If you haven't watched it, you better binge watch it.
It is good. I don't watch it all the time with her, but when I do catch the episodes with her, I really enjoy the show.
Yeah, and The Masked Singer's coming back on in February, which is very cool, and Jamie Foxx is going to be on there, so I'm looking forward to that. What else have I?
Rick and Morty's coming back. Yes.
You should watch that, folks, if you're like on drugs. Like, you have to literally sit there and watch that show. Like, you do it like a line of cocaine. Now, seriously, like,
you don't need drugs.
I've never done cocaine or anything like that, so I don't want to be the gateway spokesperson into a drug. But I totally feel like you need to be on something to comprehend that level of stupidity in a TV show. So, yeah,
we're talking about that on Snapchat.
What, Rick and Morty?
For a brief moment, yeah.
Wow.
Because I think, who was it? I think Javon was the one who shared it, and it was a GIF. It was like, I'm not gonna say it, but Mr. Poopy Butthole was on it. Yeah.
Whatever that means. That's neither here nor there. So it was very nice speaking to you all, and just tune back in. We're gonna be talking about some really interesting things, and
unicorns.
Definitely not talking about no unicorns. So we're gonna just go ahead and wrap this up for tonight, and we'll speak to you guys next week.
Have a good night.